Hey, what's up everybody? This is D&D back at it again. And I got a cool one for you today because this is a totally different setup for me. I don't typically do the screen capture kind of situation. You know, I'm not a huge plugin kind of guy. As you guys know, I am very much into the tube amps and all that sort of thing. And today we're going to go through using a Victory today. This is the Kraken Mark 1 through a Jettenuator. It's a Jet City attenuator, and it's going to go through to my DAW with a line out, and it's acting as a load box. And I'm going to capture basically that raw amp sound before it goes into a speaker, and it's going to be processed through Reaper. I'm going to show you something really cool about Neural DSP and what you can do with it. Stay tuned. All right, so I pretty much have the amp set up to the way I like this stuff set up. And we're going to go ahead and go over to the DAW. I'm going to show you this kind of cool situation I got going. All right, basically what we have going here is I have, let's see, go ahead and close. I just have this set up to where it's basically picking up any kind of audio that's coming into here and through the screen capture program. Let me tell you, it took me a little bit to figure out how to get that routed out of Reaper into OBS Studio to make that work, but a bunch of YouTube videos online helped me out, especially my buddy Ben and Scott walking me through some ideas. But anyways, what we have here is anything I have on ARM is basically going to be output through to the OBS screen recorder, which you're seeing on the screen now. All right, so with that setup with the tube amp going through the Jettenuator, so I'm basically just getting a line out from my amp with a load, and it's going straight in here. So let's just see what it sounds like without any effects, right? So we turn off the effects here. So let me go ahead and put on my headphones so I see exactly what you guys can see. All right, so this is basically what it sounds like without any kind of effects, you know, any IRs and anything like that. Really exciting, huh? All right, so typically in a workflow, you would get your IR program to basically give it a cab emulation, right? Well, let's go play with some of the Neural DSP stuff. If you got these plugins, you can do this too. So let me go ahead and open up this. Okay, I got the Soldano up here. All right, so basically, we don't want to double up the amps. What we want to do is we want to turn off the amp on the actual plugin. And with Neural DSP stuff, and a lot of plugins, you can do this. You can turn the amp off and then use the other features to do just a bunch of other stuff. So right here, if I go straight to the amp here, you can see that there's a button here that I can just turn it on and off. So right now, if I played it, it'd be doubled up. So I'm going to turn that off. And what that opens up is basically all the tools within Neural DSP, as far as like the IRs that they captured, you can use transpose. So let's check it out. So this is what it sounds like now. Let's turn off that one. I'm going to turn the effects on. Let's see what that sounds like now. Yeah. Now this is a cool tool because you can utilize your amps and use the Neural DSP plugins to just do a bunch of other stuff. So one thing you could do is you could start playing with the mics. So right now I have only the Dynamic 421 on. Let's go ahead and double it up and make sure the levels are the same. Yep. All right. So now let's see what it sounds like. Now keep in mind I have this pan to the left 70%. And just for another reason, we'll go ahead and put it in the center. Freaking awesome, man. There's just something about having a real amp instead of, you know, just the plug-in stuff. And I've always been that way. I was like, when the plugins came out, they sounded great, but still, there was something kind of missing about them. So, all right, let's continue. Let's go ahead and turn this mic off because I don't want it to double up here. Let's put this back over to 7. A little more right there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and turn on the other one. Which, let's see, over here we got the Archetype Gojira. And I did the same situation where there's a little button here you can turn it on and off. And then I can utilize the IR situation that they got going. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and turn that on. Now we got both the plugins on. And I have it, you know, the input one still running for both of those guys. So check it out. Oh, we got to first turn on the effects, right? There we go. Let's check it out now. Yeah. See how freaking awesome that sounds? I love that. Like, the fact that you can use the IRs here. Okay, here's another thing. You can actually take the SM57 here. Well, let's actually mute the first track and we can move this around. So there's a multitude of sounds and effects that we can get out of this and tones. So we could even change the mics off on this too, off axis. Okay, let's try that. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn back on the Soldano. Here we go. That is so freaking cool. So, okay, there's another piece that I want to tell you guys about. Is that in these plugins, if you have IRs that you've already worked out and got exactly what you want out of them, then you can actually add your own IRs to this as well. Let's say, for instance, because I have this one turned on, I'm going to turn that off. So right now it's just the pure amp tone. But I'm going to turn my IR, where you can go down to your custom IR and load. So wherever you have your IRs, you can go in and actually load your stuff. So I already have something loaded here. Let's see what that sounds like with just, we'll put that in the center. Sounds sick to me. Let's do this. Let's go back and pan it back over to 70%. And then turn back on the Soldano and see what it sounds like together. I love that, dude. So here's another cool thing that you could do. Let's say I want one of my guitars to be in regular tuning and I want the other one to be in a totally different tuning to get like double effect. I'm going to take the Gojira one and go down 7 steps. Let's see what that sounds like. 4 steps? I don't know. Uh-oh, watch out, Swedes. Let's go 2 steps. And I show you this stuff to help you create. You know, this is what this is all about. The fun of using these tools to figure out something that just kind of pops in your head, just makes it jive, and you just want to run with it. You know, that's the reason for music, right? So that's a cool tool there. And obviously, you can use the gate. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up till I don't hear that background noise. Pretty good. Awesome. So the gate can be used. Now, there's one thing that I was a little upset about, and it makes sense because of the signal chain. When it comes to the pedals, it's like there's a phase inversion issue whenever you use an overdrive pedal. It doesn't really work out that well. So, for example, let me mute the Soldano, and we're just using Gojira. That's what that sounds like. And here's it with OD. Just phases out. Same thing with the other one. Just phases out. And I think that's just because of the signal and how that's routed out. But you can use effects like the phaser. And I can use a chorus on the other one. Ladies. But yeah, so that is a really cool feature that you can use that. And the doubler works pretty well too. So let me try centering this and muting that. And we're just going to do it on Soldano. Double it. So this is what it sounds like without it. With it. You know, it gives it that little bit of delay where it just kind of makes it sound like it's a stereo situation. Love that too. Let's do it to both. Let's turn that back on and put this back over to left. I'm not sure what this is going to make it sound like, but here's doubler on both. I think that essentially just made it louder. So, anyways, we're going to turn those doublers off. All right, there's that. And one thing I haven't tried yet is the EQ. So let's go ahead and mute Gojira. Bring this to the middle again, and let's see if the EQ works. Oh yeah. Got some of the lows. Turn back on Gojira. Actually, let's pan them again. There we go. Let's go to the EQ. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I wanted to go through and show you this cool little trick that I found out just by playing around. And I don't know that anybody else has put out there that you can use Neural DSP plugins basically push the effects and the IRs for your amp situation if you have a load going on and line out into your audio interface into your DAW. But I thought this was a really cool feature. I thought you guys would appreciate seeing something like this, that you can use the Neural DSP stuff. And you know, if you're used to it, this is just another way to use those cool features for the X features and use your own amps, because I'm a tube amp guy and I really feel like, you know, there's something about using a tube amp compared to just digital stuff. Now, Neural DSP, I have to say, has done the best job from what I've heard digitally. All right, that's it. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and like down below and subscribe to the channel. Let's do this. DMD out.